Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. The Chase host Bradley Walsh has opened up about a major setback he faced earlier in his career, which saw him being forced to give up on his dream job. Bradley Walsh was let go from a job earlier in his career for a heartbreaking reason. Bradley, 65, is known to many as the popular host of ITV quiz show The Chase. Before that, he appeared on a string of TV shows, including a 2-year spell as Danny Baldwin on Coronation Street. However, his early ambition was to play professional football. In 1979, at just 18, he signed with Brentford, but his football career was eventually cut short due to an ankle fracture at 22. On the Guess Who's Coming to Dinner podcast in 2024, Bradley opened up about the moment he was scouted by Brentford, as well as the end of his career. He explained, "I was playing locally for my mum's hospital team. She worked in a hospital, and I was playing in a match. I'd played for the county and things like that, and I'd been a Watford junior, and then, unbeknownst to me, I'd been watched for about a month. I'd had a good month, and it was the groundsman who was the chief scout at Brentford, and he came and watched me, and he gave me the opportunity to play on a Monday evening against Southend United, and I scored the winning goal. That was it, and I signed on for 2 years. I played about 50 games and I scored 2 goals." Bradley Walsh shared that he 100% would have pursued a full football career had injuries not held him back, having been on the brink of joining the first team before injury woes led to his release. Speaking on his past, he said, "Sadly, I suffered a quite bad injury. I was always recovering from an injury, and that's one of the reasons they let me go in the end. I was just too injury prone." Following the premature end to his sporting aspirations, Bradley turned entertainer at Pontins as a bluecoat, then moved into the world of stand-up comedy, subsequently landing a role with Anglia Television. His first venture into presenting game shows was with Wheel of Fortune in 1997. In 2020, Bradley fronted a Christmas edition of Blankety Blank. The program was a hit, watched by 5.26 million people, prompting the BBC to commission a full series. The show sees a panel of 6 celebrities attempting to help a contestant fill in the blanks and win prizes. This week's famous faces are Sue Perkins, Ian Sterling, Dermot O'Leary, Naga Munchity, Ellie Simmons, and Leighton Williams. Blankety Blank will air tonight, June 21, at 8 p.m. on BBC One. Bradley Walsh is a household name, the unflappable host of ITV's hit quiz show The Chase, a versatile actor, singer, and comedian whose warmth, wit, and British charm have won him legions of fans. Yet few viewers may realize that long before he shared the screen with Bradley, Paul, Mark, Sean, and Anna in that now iconic studio, Walsh harbored ambitions of a very different career, professional football. And it was the premature end of that sporting dream, caused by the kind of string of injuries that would humble even the toughest athletes, which forced him to let go of the one thing he loved most. Born Bradley John Walsh on June 4, 1960, in Watford, Hertfordshire, the young Walsh first made his mark on the football pitch. His earliest memories, he said, revolve around the roar of the stands, the camaraderie of his teammates, and the intoxicating hope that one day he might turn professional. At just 18 years old, having impressed local scouts while playing for his mother's hospital team, where she worked as a nurse, and after a spell as a Watford junior, Walsh attracted the attention of Brentford FC, then a proud member of the 3rd Division of the Football League. On a crisp spring evening in 1978, Walsh donned the red and white stripes of Brentford for a reserve match against Southend United. It was his first taste of the professional game, and he made it count, scoring the winner and sealing a 2-year contract. Over the next 4 seasons, Walsh would play roughly 50 games in the reserves and for the first team, notching 2 goals, each one a testament to his natural athleticism and determination. "I felt invincible," Walsh later reflected, "I was on the brink of breaking through. I trained every day with a fire in my belly. I lived and breathed football. But in a cruel twist of fate, what began as a promising ascension was cut short. At 22, a fractured ankle sustained in training spelled the beginning of the end. What should have been a routine recovery turned into a cycle of setbacks. A muscle tear here, a ligament strain there. The kind of minor knocks that most recover from in weeks stubbornly lingered for months. Each rehabilitation session chipped away at his confidence and his future prospects. In the spring of 1982, with his contract up for renewal, the club's medical team concluded that Walsh was, sadly, far too injury-prone to justify